Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to talk about how to change your self-identity to become successful in anything that you want. Let's start off by defining what self-identity is. Basically, it's just the way that you picture yourself in your mind. So, do you view yourself as being smart and successful and in great shape, or do you picture yourself as being dumb, a failure, and being fat? Because the way that we picture ourselves, we'll start to see it in our reality. Like if you think you're smart, then you'll start to see things in your reality that prove yourself right, that you are smart, that you are successful. But if you think that you're dumb and fat, then you're only going to see evidence that you are fat and that you are dumb. So the way that we view ourselves, it's going to reflect itself into our realities to reinforce the idea that we are these things, that we are our self-identity. Think about it like this. If you are self-conscious about something like your hair or something, and you start going out and you start noticing that people are looking at you a lot and that maybe they're whispering and when you walk up to them they stop talking, and or whatever it may be, but you start to come up with these ideas that people are staring at you or that they're talking about you because of whatever you're self-conscious about. In this situation, it's your hair. You're self-conscious about your hair. And you start to see evidence, but they're fallacies, of reasons to support your self-image that, oh, these people are making fun of my hair. And you start to even become more self-conscious of yourself because you think that these people are actually caring about your hair, that they're talking about you, and they're thinking differently of you. But that's not the case in 99% of scenarios. That usually you're just coming up with these situations in your mind. You're giving yourself these false evidences of these people are making fun of me because of the way that I view myself, and that's just not true at all. A lot of people will even get plastic surgery because they believe if they can change their facial features or whatever it is about them, that's going to change their self-identity of themselves. That's going to give them more confidence or whatever it may be. But they think that this surgery is going to fix themselves. And in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, if you've read that, there's a doctor who's a plastic surgeon, and he found that even after some surgeries on people, that the patients still felt like there was no change. Even though the doctor had removed or did whatever to the patients still weren't satisfied with their looks. They still felt like the doctor didn't change anything, even though he did. But with some other patients, the plastic surgery actually changed their self-identity and it made them feel confident or whatever. But this kind of shows that even if you change something that you are self-confident or self-conscious about, that doesn't mean that that's going to change your self-identity. It's not going to change the self-image that you have of yourself. And to some cases, like it was found in the book, it will change their self-identity. But it's not going to change it every single time with every single person. And that kind of comes down to how you view yourself. So it kind of shows that even if you change something physically of you, if you don't have that change in your mind of your self-image, that it's still there. You still have that self-conscious body part or whatever, even though it was removed. Our brains, they just take in a bunch of information, and so whatever you feed it, it's going to accept it as the truth. It doesn't know the difference between truth and not truth or falsities. So if you just say to yourself over and over that I'm successful, I'm smart, I'm whatever, or if you say I'm dumb and I'm fat and I'm a failure, it doesn't know the difference. It's going to accept whatever you tell it as the truth. So it's super important that you tell yourself things that you want to become. You want to develop yourself as a successful person, as someone who is in shape or in fit or whatever it may be. Because if you're telling yourself that you're dumb and that you're fat, then you're going to see evidence in your environment that's proving your point that, oh, I am fat because all I eat is Cheetos all day, and if I were to eat something healthy, then that's just not who I am because I'm a fat person. But if you're successful or if you're fit, then you're going to be eating healthy and you're going to be successful in the things that you do. And so that's why it's super important that you start to change your self-identity to associate with things that you want to do. So say that you want to pick up like running, for instance, and a lot of people run, but I can't say that I really like running. But if you wanted to be a runner, then what you would want to do is continue to tell yourself that I'm a runner. Like, running is just what I do. You want to brainwash yourself to accept that running is a part of your self-identity. It's just who you are. If you want to run, then you shouldn't be telling yourself that I hate running and running's not for me, but I got to do it anyway, because you're not going to accept it into your self-image. It's not going to be who you are. In the psycho-cybernetics book, the author talks about how there was a study done with kids, and these kids were failing their classes. They were, getting F's on everything. And they started to ask them about their self-identity. And what they found was the kids believed that they were failures, and it would almost be immoral for these kids to do otherwise, to be successful, to get A's or B's or whatever on their tests, because it wasn't a part of their self-image. It wasn't them to be successful, to pass their classes. But once they were able to change the self-identity of the kids, the way that they pictured themselves, to remove the failure aspect of their self-identity and replace it with being a successful identity or success, then these students were able to pass their classes and pass their tests and get better grades on their things. But because they accepted themselves as failures, then when they would go into a test and they failed it, it's like, well, I'm a failure. This is just how I view myself, and this test just proves it. And this just happens over and over again, where they continue to fail these tests because they shouldn't expect anything otherwise. It's not themselves to do anything else besides fail. And so it goes back to my point of your brain is just accepting information, and it doesn't know what's right and what's wrong. It just accepts what you tell it. And so if you're telling yourself you're a failure, that you're going to fail that next test or fail whatever, it's going to accept it as the truth. And so that's why it is so important to, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be successful in, you need to start brainwashing yourself that I am successful, and I am doing whatever it takes to get to where I want to go. And I am driven, I am a hard worker. So what you want to do is this exercise to brainwash yourself. And basically it just involves two words, and I just said it, but it's the words I am. I am is incredibly powerful. Like I said, whatever you tell yourself, your mind, your body, it's going to react as if it is the truth. So if you want to be rich, say, I am rich, I am wealthy, I am successful. Say things that are going to promote positivity and getting you closer to your goal or the lifestyle or whatever you're trying to be successful at or in. So if you're telling yourself that I'm poor or I'm broke, you're only going to see evidence in your environment that proves yourself right. You're going to be seeing a bunch of bills coming in. You're going to be seeing a low checking account balance. You're going to be seeing everything that's proving yourself right. So if you know that whatever you tell yourself, you're going to be able to prove yourself right in your environment, then why don't you tell yourself things to prove yourself right to your advantage? Like, I am rich, I am successful, and start to see what you tell yourself be manifested or reflected into your environment to become your true reality. So this is what I want you guys to do, is to realize maybe in your life somewhere where you're telling yourself negative things to manipulate your self-image to something that it's not. If you're self-conscious about something about yourself, or maybe financially you are struggling, see where you are telling yourself like, oh, I'm broke, or I'm ugly, or something's wrong with me, or something like that. Whatever it may be, realize and uncover what you are telling yourself and remove this from your vocabulary, and in turn it will remove it from your self-image and replace that negativity with positive affirmations like I am beautiful, or I am rich, or I am fit, or whatever it may be. But you want to use you want to have your I ams be correspondent to whatever you're trying to achieve with your goals or whatever it is you want in life. You want to make sure that you are not saying what you don't want. So you want to focus on what you do want and not what you don't want. Because if you say, I'm not fat, instead of saying I'm fit or whatever, then you're still putting your focus on being fat. Or I'm broke, instead of saying I'm rich or wealthy. You're still putting your focus on I'm broke. So you want to remove the negativity or whatever is bringing you down and replace it with the uplifting or positive words in your I am practice. So once you start incorporating this practice of saying I am in whatever, then you'll start to see your life change, and you will notice that whatever you're telling yourself, that it is reflected into your environment, and your environment is going to prove yourself right. So basically take that and let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Follow me on Instagram at Sewell-Snyder. Check the links in the description for more information. Thanks for watching and have a great day.